Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and welcome back to another feature preview. Feature previews are a weekly series I run on my channel where I show you features that are going to be included in the next big update for Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation. And usually, on this feature preview series, what I like to do is just go really in depth into one feature, explain how it works and all these different things. But today, I'm actually going to be showing you 5 separate features that I think are going to change the game the most. The 5 features I'm most excited for, because every, single feature changes the game in some way, whether it's a new biome, a new mob, or something like that. But these 5 features are ones that can really unlock some creativity, or at least give you more fun in survival, and that's what I'm going to be showing you today. So please do like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like it. I want to see more stuff like this. But let's get straight into the video then, shall we? So let's start by explaining what I mean by unlocking creativity with number 5 on the list, which isn't the biggest one here, because obviously that's why it's number 5, but it is still pretty cool because it is the sponge. So the reason the sponge is so cool, and the reason it's number 5 on my top 5 features I'm excited for list, is because we had this block in creative for the longest time. I'm sure if you've ever been in creative, you've noticed this block and you'll be like, well, what does the sponge exactly do? It doesn't do anything right now on the console, and it hasn't done anything for the longest time on the PC either, since like 2009, 2010. But as of the 1.8 update, they finally changed it so that it actually will, actually do some cool stuff, and that's what's coming in the next update. They've been teasing us with it for the longest time, but basically now you can actually get this block in survival, and it actually does something. So first of all, let's explain how you get it, because basically you need to go to a water temple, which can be found in deep oceans. Then you get some wet sponges, which you can find it there. You put those in a furnace, and in a somewhat clever way, you actually end up with, obviously you end up with well, a regular sponge, because when you put it in the furnace, it kind of dries it out. That's where all the steam is going or whatever, and you end up with a regular old sponge. So that's the only way to get it normally. That if you want to actually find it, that's how you do it. You go to water temples, then you do this, and then when you have a regular sponge, it can absorb water, and it absorbs everything with a 5x5 radius. So here you can see we've kind of sectioned off this bit of water, but if we try to take out the water naturally, it's going to take us a very long time. It's going to require a bunch of buckets, and because, I'm sure a lot of you have these parts of your world where it's just like, there's going to be water there forever. Like, if you have a big enough ocean, you have to either fill the whole thing of sand or just give up. Whereas now, after the next update, even if there's a bunch of different sources creating themselves, what you can do is you just place a sponge and boom, do you see that? Instantly absorbs all of the water around it. And that's why this is so cool. That it basically unlocks a bunch more building possibilities for survival, so you don't have to go into creative. You actually have the survival options, but it also does help creative, because if you're in creative and you want to absorb this ocean, that's going to take you a really long time. With this, you can just be like, I'm going to place a sponge, and then a sponge, then a sponge. And yeah, you can see if you place the sponges poorly, you'll end up with the sources recreating themselves. But if you're really, really fast and you're really, really clever, you can actually delete an ocean in a pretty cool time, and that's going to be something that's going to be really fun to experiment with. So yeah, find wet sponges in the Guardian temples, and then end up with regular sponges. Use those sponges to absorb water at just amazing rates. So let's just keep on doing this here so you can see how that goes. Obviously, while we're doing it like this, you can see we're going to end up making the sources, but it does have a bunch of creativity options for both survival and creative, and that's why I like the sponge, and that's why it's number 5. Number 4 on this list is going to have to be the new fishing system. So I've explained the new fishing system a couple of times, but if you don't know what it is, basically when you go fishing as the update, first of all, they've changed how it looks. So you see, instead of just like I wait till it bobs, you can see there's going to be like a bunch of particles that appear until eventually what happens is they'll kind of lead to the thing, and it'll give me some warning. It's not just you have a split second to the side. You kind of know when they're getting closer, because the circling bubbles, which are the fish, there you can see, it gets closer, and then boom, we grab ourselves a fish, and like that happens. So you might just think, oh yay, a new way to get fish. Yeah, fish is my favorite item. But the thing is, if you don't already know, when you go fishing, you're going to be able to get a bunch more items. So there's 3 categories of items, as well as, 3 more fish, which means that basically you go from being able to find one thing in the ocean, just the regular old fish, which is boring and only really used for ocelots, to being able to find 4 types of fish, being able to find 6 types of junk, and 6, I think it's more types of junk actually, and 6 types of treasure. So you can find name tags with a rare chance, you can find saddles, you can find all these really cool things, including a fishing rod, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, that's why I really love the new fishing system, because as well as new enchantments and stuff, as you can see, I've got my rod. Wow, we got actually regular fish twice in a row. But yeah, you actually can get stuff like salmon, you can get stuff like clownfish used for brewing, you can get all these different cool things, and that's why I'm really, really, excited for the new fishing system. It means if you want to sit down and just fish, because you want to have a nice little, quiet, few minutes, you actually have a chance of getting really cool stuff, and it means if you don't have name tags in your world, because you generated it before title update 19, you'll be able to get them. So it's a great feature, because, it's one of the more chill things you can do for XP and for cool stuff, and also, it means that you can get stuff that you couldn't have previously gotten. That's why it's number 4 on the list, new fishing. So, number 3 on the list, I think it's going to have to be one that everyone is excited for to do in survival for the first time, because, I've done it on the PC a few times, but never in, a survival world I've been playing for a while, because basically, it's going to be a I quickly splash post myself with night vision, the water temple, or the ocean monument. I keep calling it the water temple, but really it is a temple underwater. It looks, suspiciously like the desert temple, I think you'll find. And basically the idea behind this is, it makes the oceans a bit more dangerous. If you see a deep ocean, there's a decent, because a deep ocean you can see is a lot deeper and covered in gravel. The big difference between, a deep ocean and the regular other oceans is that you have a chance of finding this there. So what is so scary and cool, etc. about the water temple / ocean monument? So basically the cool thing about this is that it has guardian mobs all around it, and those are pretty difficult to fight. I don't have a sword, so I'm not even going to try. But it also has 3 Elder Guardians. These are mobs only found in these places. I'm going to run away from you, if that's okay. But yeah, you can see these things are scary because they fire lasers, which hit through armor. But yeah, as well as, the Guardians, which are a cool new mob, and, they offer cool new drops, and they're probably the most dangerous mob in this next update. But basically, you have the Water Temple, which has all these cool new blocks. Look at the Prismarine, look at the Prismarine bricks, look at the Dark Prismarine. It's all going to be amazing blocks that if you can take with you to survival, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's going to basically offer endgame, or not endgame, but kind of mid-game opportunity. Like, you can raid this early in the game, but you'll probably die, but it's going to be a cool thing to go get some stuff for, because there's a bunch of new things coming that will help you out with this. There is the new Depth Strider enchantment for boots, there is the water-breathing potion, so you can actually stand in there without having to make air holes, and I think in general, this is going to be a very, very exciting new possibility. I think when you open up a survival world, one of the first things you'll look for, right now it's like, oh, there's a village near spawn, that's nice. Oh, a desert temple too. Having an ocean monument somewhere near spawn is going to make, 1, an amazing seed, but 2, an amazing experience, and that's why it has to be number 3 on the list. It's one everyone's pumped for, and that's why it's that. So let's move on to feature number 2 here. And number 2 is one that I mentioned as being perhaps my favorite. And I think as far as the creativity goes, this might have to be, the favorite with the most going on for it, because it has to be the slime blocks. I think we should go to sleep, or let's simulate sleep by just setting the time to daytime, shall we? But yeah, let's let's show you how the slime block works, because I'm sure you've all seen it by now. It has a few distinct possibilities, but basically they're all amazing. They can all do amazing things. So first of all, it can be if it works as a block, which is a kind of cool looking block, but basically when you land on the block, instead of taking full damage, instead of just landing on it, you actually bounce off it, and like this. And it means you can, 1, make trampolines in Minecraft. I mean, it's the simplest idea, but if you want, you can have a 1-block trampoline, and it's fun. When you jump off like a 200-block thing onto this, it's a really cool feeling, like, oh no, I'm gonna die. But 2, it means that you can have these really cool moments where if you see someone's chasing you, maybe, you can, run them off a cliff, which is slightly too big, and you can be like, yeah, run the slime block. That's and then if you actually place it in time before you land, it's kind of like a water bucket trick right now, but you can actually do a slime block. So let's actually try that and do it. So you can see here, place it before you land, and boom, you start bouncing instead. You can do some cool stuff with that, I'm sure of it. But yeah, as well as just being able to be a cool bouncy block, the second use, which I would be a criminal if I were to ignore, is basically the fact that you can use it in redstone to make these basic flying circuits, because having a slime block attached to pistons, attached to redstone, means you can basically make a self-perpetuating circuit. So we place a piston there, and then right there, you'll see, boom, we actually set off a kind of flying machine right there, and the idea behind flying machines is really simple, but you can do cool stuff. This is the most simple flying machine you can make, and it's the simplest one like I know how to make right now. But basically the idea, even behind a simple idea like that, you can see how we're actually I want to follow that along because I want to talk about this a little bit more. But yeah, you can see how you could use this for much bigger things. I've seen entire game modes made out of this. I've seen one called Missile Wars, where you have to make missiles to fire at the enemies, and yeah, there's so many cool possibilities with these flying machines. At the very least, just being able to teleport, transport in style. It's like, oh, there's an ocean there, I don't make a boat, I don't want to make a minecart rail over it. Oh, instead we can make a flying machine, because you can make some really cool stuff like this. And of course, the second possibility, you might question the TNT, is that you can actually use these as remote detonated bombs, because we set it off on that island, it makes it all the way to here, we could ride it if we wanted to, and then if we hopped off over here, then obviously what's going to happen when the redstone hits the TNT is this amazingness. So yeah, you can actually blow up someone else's base, it's going to blow your flying machine up, but you can see the destruction we did there. Honestly, that's more of a novelty factor, because, setting up TNT at someone else's base is difficult, but you can actually set it on the, if you wanted to, you could just take TNT with you and make it like a remote detonator. You can do so many cool things with it, and that's why, to me, at the very least, the flying block has so many creativity options that if you're not looking forward to it, then maybe you just don't understand it, or maybe you have no, I don't know, you don't understand fun. It's got to be that last one. But yeah, that is why slime block is going to be the number 2 most excited feature the number 2 feature I'm most excited for, sorry, in the next update. So many possibilities, including blowing up people's bases and saving yourself from death. What's not to love? So feature number 1 that I'm most excited for is actually a brand new biome, and this is one that people might be like, why is this number 1? But let's go there now and explain why. So the feature I'm most excited for in the next big update is one that will confuse you quite a bit. 'Cause you might be like, really, Toy Cat? I mean, it's kind of nice, but number one, basically that has to be the Savannah Biome. So the reason I think the Savannah Biome is going to be so cool in the next update is because basically, you know, when you're playing Minecraft, it's always cool to check out the new features, but the Savannah Biome is something that lasts and that really allows you to do what you do right now, but in a much cooler way. And why is that? You might be like, what exactly does the Savannah Biome offer? So I'm going to go through this one by one. And again, if you heard me talk about seeds the longest time, I'm always excited for this one because basically, not only does the Savannah Biome provide one of the two new trees, the acacia tree, which is the better looking one, by the way. If we take some acacia wood, I'll show you. It's actually this bright orange wood you've probably seen in creative. It's amazing. If you're going to make a house out of any wood, it might as well be acacia wood. Also, I got the first achievement on as well. Boo! But yeah, you can see it's a bright orange. It's just really, really nice. And even the wood blocks itself look really, really good. I love the wood type, but you know, if we exclude that for now, I think even without that, it's pretty cool because the Savannah Biome is a mix between a desert and a plains. It has all the mob spawning ability off the plains, but it doesn't rain like in a desert. So if you hate rain just as much as me, no more rain to deal with. But on top of that, you find villages here, and you also find really steep hills so you can see off stuff. And basically, it's super flat, except it also has hills to see off if you need to, and it has villages, and it has no rain, and it has the best type of wood in the game, in my opinion. I think this just has to be the best. Like, if you want to sell down a biome, I think 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a Savannah Biome. Like, obviously it's going to be fun in your first time in an Ice Spikes biome. Obviously it's going to be fun your first time in a Mesa biome. But what's going to be more fun than either of those things, to me, at the very least, is going to have to be a Savannah Biome because it's lasting fun. It's something I can, you know, you can make a billion different builds here, and that's why the Savannah Biome is my favorite biome and probably my favorite feature in this next update because it will last. I mean, yeah, a lot of the new features, like I said, it's always fun to check out for the first month, but after that, you know, you're left with what is has staying potential, and I think the Savannah Biome really does have that. So thank you all very much for watching the video. If you did like it, please do like the video and let me know. It helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like it. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel. When TU31 comes out, you better believe you're going to get a bunch of seeds with all the new biomes, the ocean monuments, as well as just tips on how a lot of this stuff works, like, you know, covering how the new enchantments are going to actually exactly work and how it gets more stuff. I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos as soon as the update comes out, and if you subscribe, you'll see those daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching. You know, feature previews have been fun. They'll be coming back in, like, I guess, like 2 to 3 months when we start seeing hints at the next big update, you know, like title update 35. But for now, thank you for making the series what it was. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a nice day, and goodbye for a while.